Ladies and gentlemen, she is taking talk shows to another level. She will inform, inspire, educate, and entertain you. And she is funny. It's Aisha on the A Show.
Hello, beautiful people. It is time for the A Show. And I am your girl, Aisha, invading your space once again. This evening, I'm going to be discussing with a beautiful lady on her life's journey. A young lady that was sold virtually to an older man. A man probably older than her grandfather as a husband. Intriguing, huh? I'm sure I've excited you and you are tickled. You can't wait to hear what we're going to be talking about. We'll go for a short commercial break. When we come back, we'll start talking.
It's Aisha on the A Show.
Aquaba is the feeling of joy when you know you are home, where you sleep in luxury and comfort, and wake up to the breeze of the Atlantic Ocean. Aquaba to Labadi Beach Hotel, where the food is fresh and the smiles are genuine. Now you know you are home. Ghana's finest 5-star hotel, Labadi Beach Hotel. The legacy lives on.
It's Aisha on the A Show.
Welcome back. If you just joined us, you are watching the A Show, and I am your girl, Aisha. Today, I'm talking to a beautiful young lady. Her name, I have already said to her, is sexy. ASHLOM. You heard me. ASHLOM the Zionist. And she has a story to tell us. I am so intrigued by her story, and I thought that we had to share it with all of you because as you keep watching, I trust that you will learn something from her journey. ASHLOM the Zionist is our guest on the show today. My dear, welcome on the A Show.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be with you here. Yeah, I'm really blessed.
Oh my goodness. ASHLOM. I like your name.
Thank you.
I think I should have another baby
Maybe.
and name her ASHLOM. Do you know the meaning of your name?
It's actually Ashley and
Ashley.
Elom together. So I just combined it. Yeah.
Oh, lovely.
Yes.
That's how come I haven't heard it before.
Oh, yes.
It's new. You heard it. Elom and Ashley put together to now make it Ashley.
Yes.
Do you like the way I say it?
A cocktail.
Okay, once again, you're welcome on the A Show.
Thank
And
you.
yes, like I said, you have a story to tell us.
Yes.
I don't know how to begin it, but this young woman was actually sold to a white man. In fact, a white man, we say, who is as old as, probably older than her grandfather. They just virtually dashed her to him as a wife. True, like, right?
Something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Tell me the genesis. Let's get to Revelation. But you're not in a hurry. Let's go.
All right. So I completed Maoli Secondary School, Volta
Okay.
Region Hall.
Okay.
And after school, I left home. And as a young girl, I was on the street because I wanted a better life for myself.
What were you doing on the streets?
Ask me, I just left home because I didn't want my dad to be, my dad was a strict educationist.
Okay.
And I being the firstborn, he was so strict on me, and because we lost our mom at a very young age. I was 8 years when I lost my mom.
Oh,
so my dad single-handedly took care of the three of us. And after secondary school, I just thought the vicinity or maybe the environment that I thought maybe something just came into my mind. I'm like, I always tell my dad that, Dad, I'm not going to succeed in this area. I'm not going to succeed. So one day I just...
What neighborhood was that?
That was Kotobabi.
Kotobabi.
Yes. Okay. So I kept running on and off, like I kept running from home. So after secondary school, I just brought my trunk, my stuff. I placed it in front of our door, took money from all the tenants in the house and left.
Just like that?
Just like that.
How old were you then?
Back then I was, I think, 18, 19.
Okay.
Yeah. So I left it, so I was on the streets with friends, you know, from one place to other, living in completed buildings then. We're just
you were in a completed house?
Yes, please.
With your father?
Yes.
And your other siblings?
Yes, please.
And you felt that the neighborhood in which you lived wasn't good for you?
Actually, I think also the peer pressure aspect, because I started life from secondary school, Form 2. I was a very quiet girl growing up. And when SS2, I joined a group of girls and I became wild. But the reason why I did that was I was looking for solace, because at that point my dad wasn't doing well. It was like from grace to grass, and he never told us what was going on.
Okay.
We were from riches then, so he never told us what exactly went on. So when I joined that girl group, then I became a wild type. I was clubbing whilst I was in secondary school. I wasn't doing the men aspect, but I was just smoking weed and running
away from
glens
school
and
to the
clubs and
no exit, obviously.
All that, yes,
okay.
yes. So those were my lifestyle in school. So peer pressure actually led me to such a lifestyle then. And after school,
did you acquire a nickname for yourself? Yeah,
my name was Queen Ascona or Ascona. Everybody knew me in Volta region, Maoli school as
Queen
Ascona.
Ascona.
Yeah, Queen Ascona.
Girl, we heavy what?
So after school, I was on the street, and as a young girl on the street, doing nothing, and having no focus then, no purpose in life. We were just like living the life and thinking of, you know, all we were doing was to have fun, party, and, you know, get the men. And that was how the beginning of my life, I started dating elderly men.
Older men? Okay.
Yes, elderly, yeah. So that was how we started life. I started life dating elderly men on the street and depending on men.
You had peer pressure?
Yes, please.
And that led you into a gang in school?
Yeah.
And after school, you came back home?
Yes.
Dammed your box and trunk in front of your house, your gate?
Yes.
Took monies from the neighbors?
Yes.
They were very kind. They gave you?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Kind neighbors. They didn't ask you where or what you were going to use?
No, I just told them that when my dad comes back, they should take the money from my dad.
From him? Wow. And so they gave you, and then you took off?
Yes.
Did you know where you were going to?
Not really, because by then I had a lot of boyfriends. So, and I was the type that I was so adventurous in a way that when I meet a guy, I can just stay with you for a week or two, and you know, I was just like jumping from one place to another.
Hey, sister, so you left home without knowing exactly where
I was going.
No. So where did you end up? That fateful day, where did you end up?
I ended up with my friends. They were living in West Legon then, and I just patched with them then. Okay. Girls.
So you patched with your girls for how long?
I think for a year or two, and my dad, you know, went to police station and was looking for me. I don't know who gave him my number. He called me. I came back home and I ran off again.
Wow.
I kept coming and running because the lifestyle on the street was, you know, I got addicted to it, so I couldn't live with my dad again with the disciplinarian
that he was.
Yeah,
you couldn't handle
cope anymore, so I just fled off. So I ended up, you know, dating quite a couple of guys. Not even dating, we just do the rounds, you know, that kind of professional rounds.
What kind of rounds is
we
that?
Don't stand on the street, but we have connections, you know. We meet men, big men, and all the stuff.
Did you have like an agent or somebody?
Oh,
that was
not really.
You to
Me, I was a very smart girl, so if I go to town,
you must be still smart. What do you mean you were like?
Oh yeah, I'm still smart anyway. Yeah, so you know, you meet
So you go when you are on the streets and you see a guy that you can tell that
that this one
will be good.
Yes,
it will be a good candidate.
Yes.
So I'm going to and so we identify you. Now we're grabbing.
Yes.
So what did they do with you? They took money. They gave you money and what?
yeah, what I do is, you know, survival, we dependent on the men. So when you meet a man, definitely after him having his way with you, he's going to give you some money. So that's what we were doing. For survival, we depend on the men. For survival, you need to sleep with men before you can feed yourself and clothe yourself. And the way we were party animals, we needed to always clothe ourselves each and every blessed day. Good, actually, to be able to enter some places. You need to look good.
Do you ever think that were you hoping to go back to school?
I was.
At that point?
Yes, my dad actually forced me severally, but because of the lifestyle, then I was just focused on making it faster. Like, I don't know.
Faster?
I just wanted some
money.
Like money. I just wanted an independent,
life.
a good life for myself. I think in a faster way. So the school aspect was there, but that wasn't my focus then.
You shelved it for
later. For later. So, but during those periods, I was the type of girl that I was business minded. So sometimes I could go and even steal men chargers and star phones, and go and sell it at Circle. So I used to stand at Circle and sell chargers. It got to a point that I became like a Circle girl. People knew me. I'll come with a lot of chargers, I'll stand there and be selling it,
And these chargers were stolen?
Stolen ones, yeah.
Sister. So, obviously, with this, you are going to fall in the hands of bad people.
Yes, yeah.
So, at what point did you meet, or at what point were you sold to this white man?
I met at Circle. There was this guy who normally passes by, and I think he was noticing a beautiful girl standing in front of Vodafone then, all the time. I used to be like, stand there with the guys, and do the moves, sharp move, and So this guy saw me and said, when you get another business, will you do it aside this one? I said, yes. The only business I will not do is prostitution, though the one I do is a professional one. I don't want to the bigger type of prostitution. I'm not ready for that. And armed robbery.
Okay.
That was what I told him. Then he gave me his card. So I think at a point in time, I just called him and he asked me to come to his house. So when I went to his house, and he had an office in his house, then he filled me in on what he does. Then he said, this is what I do. Are you ready for it? I said, yeah.
What was he doing?
It's like, let's say, no Sakawa. Then, in those days, it's proper 419. They bring the white men to Ghana. Then it's sort of like a consignment. They'll give you, let's say they'll give you a business deal. Maybe it's a gold or something. They have a way. We have wash. We have names for it, yeah. So they can tell you that they have a wife for you. And the wife is the president of a dead, like someone who died, in another country. So this lady has a lot of wealth somewhere in a security company that you have to come and, a whole lot of stories. They give you a nice story.
What was your story?
The first deal, I was a daughter of, was it a Uganda or one of the presidents, a dead one. Yeah, somebody.
Are you serious?
Yeah, so I met the white man from Iran. I met one Iranian man.
Okay.
That was one of my breakthrough.
All right.
Yeah, so when the Iranian man came, actually they will take you to the saloon, they'll give you a car, a driver and everything. You look posh, yes. So I went to meet him and I took him to the hotel.
So who give you all these things? The guy?
The guy now introduced me to the bigger men, the big men in society. So I now ended up with the big bosses now. So they were now, giving me all the stuff, the cars and everything. They'll take you, I'll go and pick the man from the hotel, go to a hotel, and the story, they'll give me, they'll tell me what to tell the man.
Oh, okay.
So I have to be seducing the man in a way, in words, in everything, so that the man can release a sort of money. Whatever story they have already given the man, I have to make sure that the man gives out that money. So what
So your story should tally with her story.
Thank you. So that was, yes,
believe
believe it, and convincing the man, then the man can be able to buy their story and release whatever money they had, said to him, or whatever things, or what if it's a gold business, they have a real gold that they'll show you. We'll go to even the mining sites together and blah 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 like that.
That was a big deal.
Yes, a big deal. Yeah.
Wow. So you met your Iranian partner?
Man, I met an American. I think I did with them. I did quite a couple of businesses with them.
So
and
Iranian,
American, other countries.
Then
the American one had issue.
Okay.
My boss's assistant went behind him to do a deal which they had already planned to do. So he brought me in, and I went to the airport to pick the white man. And when we got to the airport, the white man was arrested. Not knowing my boss had informants at the airport. So whatever. So they arrested the American guy and took him to immigration cells, and I had to go around looking for people to help me too. So he was there for a month, and I also did my best to. I even went to the extent of American embassy to see the consul then, and it was a she then, and she helped me, and they released the man, and the man gave me all the money and everything then, and left and said, I'm not going to come to Ghana again, ever. And when he left, he even published some of their names in the newspapers and destroyed some of them. Yeah, then.
Wow.
Yeah.
So then that was.
But then that was when I left. I fled from Ghana to Togo for some time.
Okay.
And I came back again.
For the
because to calm down, because they were looking for me, and they could kill me. Yes, because they normally take me when a deal is coming. They'll take me to a malam or a juju man. So they'll make sure that the juju man tells them if I am the one for the deal. If I'm not the one, they will not use me. But because I have a good heart, I always get.
ASHLOM. So, you were not just selling yourself. Well, you were not going out there to stand there and compete with other girls to prostitute.
Yes.
But you were doing the high class prostitution.
Yeah.
And then you were also introduced to rich men for business purposes,
yes.
of course, which included having sex with
fraud
them.
and everything.
Defrauding them and all that. That wasn't enough. You were also doing juju or malams. Were you not scared?
At that point, because I was so adventurous and I was,
What were you looking for?
What was I looking for? That's the word. I think worldly things. I was just looking for a good life, but in a very bad way. I was saying. I wanted it quickly, the fastest way of making money. That was what I wanted, a comfortable life.
In all of this, where was your dad and your siblings?
My siblings and my dad were living in Kotobabi.
Were you in touch with them?
Sometimes on and off, maybe 2-3 years. I don't talk to them. I was just into
so you just
around.
cut them off
sometimes
in your pursuit to just get the good life.
Yeah, but I got to a point. I came back. That was when I met a guy from England, and I got pregnant, and I had to come back home and tell my dad this is what happened. And my dad is always the compassionate and quiet type, and I think he's just like our Father in heaven, who will accept the prodigal daughter. So
we'll get there.
Yes,
we'll get there. I don't want us to fast track.
Yes,
this story. So, at what point, again, because you met a few people?
Yes.
When were you sold out?
After I had my son, I was supposed to be engaged or wedded to the guy in London. But 6 months after my son's birth, he came down and he said he's not more interested in anything. But
of course, you met this man through the same process
I met this guy actually through internet, like dating.
Okay.
Yeah, so we only knew each other for 6 months, and he came down. Then I had come back from my
your hideout.
Okay. So I wanted a quiet life.
Did you go back to the guy?
No. I was still
now you were on your own.
Now I was on my own.
You have gathered experience.
Yes, so I was just quiet.
Yourself.
I did myself, and I got one, and I said, okay, this one I'm not. I just want to be with this guy. So I was with him. he came down to Ghana and I got pregnant and I had to give birth. He tried for me to go to England to deliver, but twice it didn't work. So I rented an apartment and I was living, and he came down 6 months after my son's birth and he said he's no longer interested in whatever he wants to do. And I said, okay, they had already brought some drinks, so he should go for it and stuff like that. So that was how I ended that relationship. And I was a bit depressed. I became depressed because my focus was, I wanted a better life. So I thought at that point, I was relaxed. I wasn't even thinking of the 419 business anymore.
You felt that you had met somebody?
Yes, and I wasn't even going out clubbing anymore.
Okay.
So I had wanted, when I met him, actually he was a good and quiet guy, which I thought I could just, stay at one place.
Did he know your story?
Yeah, he knew quite a bit. He knew a bit of it.
But he liked you?
Then, yes.
And he was ready to...
He was ready. So later on, I didn't know what happened. Maybe he heard so many things about me through...
He never told you?
Friends, which he never told me. It was later, when I went back to England, before he told me what happened. So that relationship got broken. I was depressed and I started clubbing. My son was 6 months, 7 months. I was going clubbing.
You went back to your old life?
Oh my God. I'll go to Jokers everywhere. I'll just be clubbing, come back, give... Who
was taking care of your son?
My cousin. My cousin was living with me then. So she was the one taking care of my son. So at that point, I thought of the life I was living with my son, coming back from the club, and I'll drink a lot and fed him with the breast milk, and it was not going well. So I called my younger boss, the one who first introduced me to the 419 business. So I called him again, and he came to the house and he said, "Oh, where have you been?" I said, "Oh, it's just that I've been in hiding. Already. I just left."
And he was still in the business?
Yeah. By then, I think he was getting. He started genuine businesses now, and he was just getting out of it. Yeah. So, but he said, "There is this white man that is desperate about it." And I said, "How?" He said he's been using my picture for this man for years, and the man is ready to come to Ghana. And I was like, how? How? He said, yes, I was using your picture and I talked to this man as a female. Yeah, he could talk to him.
So he was talking to him as if it was
me. And
so he wanted you to meet the man?
Yeah, so the man was ready now to come to Ghana to meet the lady.
Okay.
So at that point when I called him and he came to my home, he told me the story, and the man was 77 then. I was just 24 years old.
This calls for some tea. Cheers.
So when
77-year-old man,
yes.
You were 24 years old.
Yeah, I was 24 when I gave birth.
You were so young.
Yeah.
Goodness. What were you looking for? Anyway, so this 77-year-old man
came down. My son was 6 months old when he came, so I booked a hotel and I left my son with my cousin. So when he came, I lied to him that my son was for my younger sister who was dead.
Oh God. So you are not the mother?
I was not the mother. That was the story I gave him. So we normally leave the hotel, come and visit my son and go. But he saw the connection.
You had stopped the breastfeeding?
By then, so when I come, I'll go back, door and breastfeed. So it got to a point I had to stop by force.
Was this 77-year-old man touching you?
He was touching me.
You couldn't tell that you had breast milk?
No. So what happened was, when my breast becomes big, then I asked him, to be huge.
And gorgeous, yes?
Yes, yeah. And gorgeous. Then I'll tell him that this is a problem I'm going through. So then in the morning, I'll ask him to suck it and throw it in the sink. So every day he sucks my breast milk and throws it in the sink.
Hey. Yehovah.
So he was the one who actually helped me to stop the breastfeeding.
ASHLOM. Yo, the 77-year-old man needed breast milk. But this one you were giving him for him to throw away.
Maybe one.
I'm sure he was taking a little of it.
Yes.
At 77, he sure needed breast milk.
Yes.
Yehovah. You know what, ASHLOM, we would have to pause. It's getting hot in here. We'll go for a short commercial break. We'll be right back.
It's Aisha on the A Show.
Aquaba is the feeling of joy when you know you are home. where you sleep in luxury and comfort. And wake up to the breeze of the Atlantic Ocean. Aquaba to Labadi Beach Hotel, where the food is fresh and the smiles are genuine. Now you know you are home. Ghana's finest 5-star hotel, Labadi Beach Hotel. The legacy lives on.
It's Aisha on the A Show.
Welcome back. If you just joined us, you are watching the A Show. And yes, I am your girl, Aisha. My beautiful hair is from Glamour Hair. Glamour Hair, you can find them at East Legon. My dress, well put together by Cheek by Siba. And we are recording at the plush Labadi Beach Hotel. As I keep saying, if it's an event, it's a party, wedding, conference, just name it. The place to be is Labadi Beach Hotel. They have everything. Just call them and they are here to serve you and give you that warm welcome that you deserve. Before we went on the break, I am speaking, having a conversation with a beautiful ASHLOM the Zionist. Her story is intriguing. My whole crew, I said, Omaboto, Omayelem. If you started from the beginning with us, I trust that you are equally intrigued about her story and you want us to continue. So quickly, let's go back to her. My dear, so we paused at where you make your 77-year-old man sucks your breasts.
Yes.
You were breastfeeding then. And you put this old man through this trauma.
Yes.
Sister, papa, then why you? Bonnie Bempa no ye. Odo bonnie no ye. Or your odo bonnie. So he sucks your breast.
Yeah, so every day he does that, and that was how I even I was able to stop the breastfeeding. Okay. So when he was about to leave after a month, I also gave him my story that I had, a problem with my breast, which I had to go to see the doctor for, like an operation or something.
You and I knew that there was nothing.
Yes,
like
so
that.
I also took I think I took about 3,000 pounds from him then.
Wow.
Yeah, he gave it to me, behind my small boss. I didn't tell him about that one.
Okay.
I also
because whatever you get, you need to give him
share.
some.
Yes,
you share
he had already,
negotiated
with, so I have to be smart now.
So also get your own cash without him
yes.
having anything from it.
Yeah.
Wow, ASHLOM, and you were 24.
Yes.
Wow. So you got your 3,000 pounds.
Pounds, yeah.
Your 77-year-old man left.
Left, and
what happened?
Was communicating with. The mistake I did was, because I had a good heart and trusted people so much, so I always allow him to communicate with the man. So behind me, he always give stories to him, to the extent that he even used my late mom's story, that my mom was admitted in a South African hospital.
Meanwhile, your mom was
dead long time, yes. And the man, which is my late, the man transferred some money to him to South Africa. He will travel and go and take those money and whole lot. So anytime I'm home,
this was serious.
Yes.
This was really serious.
Yes.
Wow.
So
but why couldn't the man communicate to you directly?
What happened was I made a mistake. I should have taken the man's number and start the communication, but I still left it as it was.
For your agent to do it?
Yes, to do it. So every day he comes to give me something small at home, share of something. So I think 2 years after, he called me that the man was ready to come and marry me. So
by then he should be 79.
70, yes.
He was 77 when he came.
76, yes. Yeah.
Or 76.
Yeah, I think so. So what happened was.
I did some crazy. 77, I said. What do you need a 24-year-old woman for? Really? Hey, I mean, well, I'm trying to make sense out of it because, you know, did he have kids?
He had 2 children, actually. And
obviously, that were older than you.
Yes, and he had divorced a Filipino lady before coming down. So he sent money to my agent that he's coming to marry me. So we went to...
So when he came to Ghana to see you, he was married?
No, he had
divorced already?
Yes, so he was ready to come down.
So after 2 years, he wanted to come down and
marry me. And so he sent money and we went to buy a wedding gown around the Osu runabout. Then there was this wedding, this thing there.
ASHLOM, I'll go an issue.
we just bought a wedding gown.
Yes.
Everything. We rented a 2-bedroom apartment at Dansoman. I was living somewhere in Abilingpe. So I moved to the 2-bedroom house. I didn't tell any of my friends. It was only between me and the guy. I went to Dansoman. He came. I picked him to the house. The following week, the arrangement and everything, we went to the Register General. We took some man. We paid some man. You know, so we're just like 4 or 5 people. They represented me as my family. Then we went and did everything. We just did the marriage and everything.
You had family. He didn't bring any family.
No, he didn't bring any family. So
wow.
So that was so happy. I remember that day at the registrar department, all hell was loose. Everybody was insulting me. People were shouting. If I'm their sister, they will kill me, they will disown me. They were shouting loudly. I don't know how.
What was their problem?
I don't. And somebody was like, people were also backing me. They were like, if they are their sister, they will like it. They will enjoy it, but the whole lot.
So they were insulting you because the man was old?
Yes, yes.
And you were coming to marry him?
Yes.
That was why they were insulting you?
Yes.
What were you thinking at that time?
I never cared. I wasn't bothered. All I was thinking was, oh my, I want to go to England, because then I had it in mind that what my ex-boyfriend did to me with his family, they thought I was a pauper and I was a gold digger coming to, I don't know, feed on their
riches.
Yes, so I was like, I'm going to do this and go to England.
So you had vengeance in you?
Yes, I had vengeance at that point. To go to England to show this guy that I'm also in England. I can make it. So my focus was just to travel abroad as well. And also for, you know, to make a good living for myself and my family.
Did you end up going to England?
Yeah, so I got married in 2005 and I left Ghana in December 2005 to Portsmouth, England. Yeah, I was living in Portsmouth.
So you went to live with your old man?
Yes.
How was life in England?
Life was good. I was being pampered. Everything was nice. But because I pretended to him, my husband then never drank, never smoked in his life before, and he didn't know the other part of me as a club girl. So I pretended for 6-7 months.
Of course.
And I felt like I was caged.
You couldn't pretend.
Yes, I couldn't pretend anymore. And I felt like I was caged.
You came out.
And also, there was a battle before I left Ghana because the other guy wanted me not to travel. He just wanted the marriage to be done and he would take some money. So I had to fight. I left Ghana without his knowledge to England. So when I got there, he called the landline and I was the one who picked it, and he said, yeah, I knew you had left Ghana and I'll show you Pepe. I'm coming to England. And by then that guy can travel. He speaks Spanish, he speaks German, he speaks every language. So he can come there. I know him very well. So he said, I'll come and destroy everything for you. So during that period, I was a bad girl that my husband then would drive me to the club. He got to know that part of me now. So he would drive me to the club. When I finish clubbing, he'll come and pick me up in the morning because he didn't want me to feel caged. I drink, I do all sort of things, and I started drug at a point.
Oh my goodness.
So the guy was threatening me that he's going to come to England. He will come to England and tell my husband that everything we did was because we had introduced the guy to my husband as my brother. So he was aware that that guy was my real brother. So in this case, he was like he was asking me to take some money from my husband and give to him, and I said, no, I'm not going to do this. Now I am in the soup now. And then when I got to England, I realized that there was so much money transferred. Actually, he sold one of his houses and sent all the money to the guy already. So I realized that they had taken a lot of money from him. And I said, no, this time, no, this is my time. So we started battling. So I called my husband down and I confessed to him about my son, that this is it. That guy wasn't my real brother. I confessed everything, and he said,
that was a very good thing to do.
Yes, I confessed everything. Then he said, oh, why didn't you tell me? Because I saw the connection between you and the child. And by now, the child would have come to England with you. And I said, don't worry. The child's dad is a citizen already in England. He has no problem. And then too, they had taken my son from me. The family came for my child.
Oh, that guy
at the age of 1 year,
child.
1 or 2 years. So my son was with them.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so he was taking care of my son. So I was free to do whatever.
So your son
was
already in England?
My son, no, he was living with the family here in Ghana.
Family here,
yes.
oh, okay.
So I was already free to move on with my life. So I told him that he shouldn't worry about my son. He's already sorted. It's my life now. I need to sort out. So I confessed.
So you confessed to him?
Yes.
What did he do?
He was a bit upset, but at the end of the day, he was grateful that he now knows the truth. And he loves me so much that I was surprised that though he was upset in a way, he just said, I thank God I know the truth now. So now this is the real you. And you know, that guy used a name and age for him. So all those things were fake. But I was using that. So now I had to tell him my real age as the ASHLOM, so and so. But he just said, no, don't worry. Let's stick to this name. That's it, finish. So we were just like that. But what happened was, the age gap, I felt it when I went into the marriage. And two, I was a young girl that I didn't know much about marriage. So I misbehaved. My lifestyle became, I don't know, I started doing drugs. I was clubbing, I was drinking. I was not ready. I was just looking for a reason. So
you wanted the good life.
Yes. So
you pay the price for it.
Yes.
So that was a price you had to pay.
Yes, I started paying.
Go for an older man who was rich and could take care of you.
Yes.
Basically, that was it. So now it's hitting you.
It was hitting me.
This is not what you want.
Yeah.
Or if you bargain for this, you bargain a bit too much.
Yes.
And so you couldn't deal with it.
I couldn't deal with it. I started clubbing. I would leave him every weekend, go to London. I'll be roaming. He still loved me. He was talking to me. He tried everything possible. All I was doing was to jumping from one man to another. I was just going around, you know, because he couldn't satisfy me.
Exactly my question.
He couldn't satisfy me because I was a sex maniac.
You were a sex addict.
Yes. So I was like, he couldn't satisfy me. So I was just.
Did he even make the effort though?
He always does.
Mercy.
He always does. he even bought me a vibrator then.
Oh my
He thought he could use that then.
To help you.
Yes.
So you were going out there.
I was going out doing all sorts of things, and he was fed up. And you know, our people talk a lot, especially our own people. The community, you know, the
community in which there were Ghanaians around.
Around some Ghanaians that he already knew before I got to Portsmouth, and they were telling him all sort of things. And at a point in time, he wrote a letter to the Home Office without my knowledge. So I was just living a life then, and he gave me a 28 days notice to move out from his house if I don't change. And I didn't mind him. I thought it was just a joke. I came back from work one morning and he helped me pack all my stuff. And I was like, oh, whoa, I thought maybe you forgiven me. He said, no, I'm serious. So he packed all my stuff and drove me to a place on the roadside, a bus stop in winter. It was in winter then. So he packed all my, he drove me to a place and just packed all my stuff down and gave me addresses and numbers of homelessness and refugees, asylum seekers. Yes, all those things, the numbers. He said, if you need help, you can contact them. And he left me. So I was there stranded, and I called a friend of mine at work, a guy friend who was also hitting on me then at work, which I never.
And what work were you doing?
By then I was working in one of the companies, Estee Lauder. Yeah, I was working with Estee Lauder. So I moved in with the male friend. I was living with him for some few weeks.
It had to be a male friend, my dear.
Oh, definitely. So I moved in with this guy, and this guy too couldn't tolerate my lifestyle. So I had to move out and look for my own place. So I got my own apartment, and we were still in contact. Though I had moved out from my husband's house then, he was still calling me, checking up on me and all that stuff. I was still meeting him in town and take my money, like my housekeeping money, anything he asked for me, I take it. We're like that. So when I got my own accommodation now, he was coming to me now.
Whoa.
Every week or every day, he would come. Then I heard in town that there was this Nigerian girl that was living with him, which I asked him and he was like, oh, she's an asylum seeker, so she needed help, and he gave one of our rooms to the lady.
But you also needed help.
Yeah, but I was quiet, I didn't talk. It was time for me to apply for my indefinite stay because 2 years, they gave me 2 years visa, a settlement visa. Okay. So after 2 years, I would have gotten my indefinite stay, then my British passport.
That's right.
So it has ended, so I had to be quiet to
so you can also get
my indefinite.
That's right.
So I did the application and everything with him. Then he now told me that he had written a letter to the Home Office when I landed in 2005, December. He wrote a letter to the Home Office in July. That was 6 months after, to tell them that our marriage was not subsisting. Then I said, oh, that means the Home Office is aware that our marriage was not subsisting. So when we did the application and everything, a few days, I received a letter from the Home Office saying that this is what happened. I have to go back to Ghana or take a lawyer because my husband said the marriage was not working.
It's not existing anymore.
So that means my visa was curtailed 6 months into entering into England, but I was living in England. Nothing happened.
So you had overstayed.
So I had, thank you,
you had overstayed.
which I never knew about.
Wow.
So my counts were there.
Wow.
So I had to come back to Ghana or take a lawyer. So then I had money, so I took a lawyer and I was fighting them. My husband would also drive me to the courts. Yeah, he was still backing me. Now I think he came to his, I don't know what was happening to him. The thing was like on and off you. Then he would drive me to the court. Then it got to a point I had to be deported back to Ghana. I was removed forcefully because I was fighting them, the Home Office, which they had proofs. And when it got to a point, my lawyer said no. They wrote to him that my husband was actually married to the Nigerian lady. So I should ask my husband. And I asked, he said yes, he did that because he wanted to sort her out in a way. It wasn't a real, but the lady told my husband that I was married in Ghana, which won't affect that marriage, but it affected it, and my husband was arrested for 72 hours for bigamy. But because of his age, then they released him. Yeah. Because, and you know, bigamy is 15 years imprisonment.
Exactly, prison. That's right.
But because of his age and his people, if it were to be a black person, they would have arrested him. But because he's an Englishman, they released him after 72 hours and pardoned him. So that was where I became depressed. I was depressed actually during that period. I was depressed. My drug addiction went higher. My sex addiction went higher. Alcohol addiction. I was just a messed up person in England then. All that period that everything was going on. Because my fate in England now, I didn't know whether I'm going to be removed or I'm still going to be in England. So my fate, I was just confused and depressed. Yes.
And so you were deported?
Yes, I was removed back in July 2009.
So virtually you came back with nothing?
I was allowed, because my case was a special case, so I was allowed 24 kilos.
24 kilos. And what did you bring?
I just brought my laptop, I thank God they didn't take my bank cards. They took my driving license and certain things. So my laptop, my bag, my few clothes, and that's it. Then I came to Ghana.
ASHLOM
the Zionist.
So you were deported.
Yes.
You came back to Ghana.
Ghana.
You had abandoned your family.
Yes.
As it were.
Yes.
So you got back to Kotoka International Airport. And what happened? Somebody came to pick you at the airport?
Then I communicated with my brother. The day I'll be coming to Ghana, I told my brother that I'm sending a parcel, so he should come to the airport.
You were the parcel?
Yes, so he should come to the airport. But he said he suspected it. So he came to the airport, and I was here. And I told him, yeah, you know.
Your brother is older or younger?
Younger, he's the last born. I have a lady before him, yeah. So he picked me up, and I went to a hotel. And later on, I think the following day, he went to tell my dad that I'm in and this is the situation. I was removed because I had already. Then when I went to England, I was communicating with them now, sending them money and everything.
Okay.
Yes. And I even sent them money to move out from Kotobabi to a different location, but they rented in Abavana. Kotobabi and Abavana is the same area. Yeah, so they just, because my dad became a headmaster of the Abavana schools and he needed
to be closer
to,
right.
So they got a 2-bedroom house around that area. So when I came in, I was in the hotel for a day. The following day, I came back home. And when I got home, my daddy hugged me and said, "Thank you, Jesus, you are back in good health." I wanted to cry. He said, "Don't cry. I thank God you are alive and you are back." My dad actually accepted me as a prodigal daughter and told me something that day. He said, "The only thing you need now is Jesus Christ, and he is the only one that will give you inner peace." That was all he said. He didn't ask me any question, and he accepted me back home. So that was how I came back home again, living with them. It was another back to square one.
Of course,
Yes.
you wanted the fast life. You had done it. You had tasted everything.
Yes.
But here you are, back to square
Square one.
with nothing to show for all the things that you had done. If you had anything, it was what you're sharing with us.
Yes.
Your experiences.
So, my experiences then. But thank God for my life. Then I had some money on me and I transferred my money from, because they took my cards and everything, but I had an online banking. So what I did was to transfer all my money quickly into my son's dad's. I had communicated with him that this is what happened. So I transferred all my money into his account for him to bring, whenever he's coming to Ghana, to bring to me cash. And lo and behold, God bless him, he did that exactly. He brought all my money to me. Yeah, so when I came back, I was there for a while. Then I decided to start a business. I met this guy that I was dating who was a barber then, a very nice guy, but a barber I didn't mind because me then I was depressed. So I was just like, I just needed a guy who saw, you know. So, and he too, he was like into so many things. So he can easily get me the drugs and everything, the weed, everything. So that was the sort of guy I liked that then. So I was with him and he advised me. I started a business in Jolu. I opened a small pub, like a sport. So I was there doing the sport business and my lifestyle was even worse. Because I'm selling the
You were not tired. ASHLOM, you were not tired of this lifestyle?
It was on and off. Sometimes I'll get tired. I'll start going to church. Then I say, fuck it. Then I'll come back again. It was on and off. But I knew very well that I had the God factor. Yes, the thing was like, I knew very well there is something.
You were refusing to
surrender. So yes, I was refusing to surrender. I would go to church 2 months, then all of a sudden I come back worse. I'll go back again into, and I think my business then too didn't help me then. Yeah, because I was selling the drinks and everything. Yes, obviously the man comes, the lifestyle. Yes, the lifestyle was now high. You know, all the big men would come to my shop then, and all the the things were happening. And my life, I became, because of the I was like, coming back to Ghana, I couldn't fit into the system again. And because of what I saw in England, the lifestyle, the money, now it's like I'm a bit surprised. Though I had money, but I couldn't fit into the system again. I was struggling. And coming back to my dad's home too was another problem for me. But it was all God's plan for me to be squeezed, to be under my dad's control. But I was not under his control because I was disrespecting him by bringing men home a lot.
Shut up.
Yes.
You were doing
He
that?
will be there, the men will be coming in and out. Yes. That was what I was doing. Like my lifestyle was...
Are you serious?
Yes.
You came back after everything?
Everything.
You came back, he took you
in.
And the best way you could pay him was to disrespect him that much?
Yeah, I was told.
Now ASHLOM,
so they were like, my dad was always praying.
Mercy,
my sister will be praying. My
Is
sister
your dad alive?
He is alive. I even saw him yesterday. Yeah.
Thank God for his life.
Yes, thank God for his life.
And he still like just tolerated you?
He was tolerating me by praying for me secretly, telling pastors, not knowing. Some pastors later on told me that he even gave them my picture. And my younger sister too, who was a bit spiritual than everyone in the family, she was also praying for me, and she was always insult. I always tell my sister, what you did then, I thought it was bad, but now I know it was good. She will insult me that you are an ashawo, you are this. I am scared. I am shy to tell my friends in school. She was in Valley View. I'm shy to tell them that you are nothing to write home about. I'm shy to tell people that you are my elder sister. Look at your lifestyle. She will insult me. I'll insult her back. But later, I'll go into my room and cry to God and say, oh God, change my life. Look at my sister. So one day, my dad called me in his room and said, ASHLOM, if you don't take time, you will be a servant to your younger siblings. And that thing hit me so much. I went into my room and cried to God. But I was still struggling. Going, the drug and the weed aspect was, and the men aspect was
just strong.
You
didn't want to
I couldn't let go.
You heard her? We'll go for a short break.
It's Aisha on the A Show.
Listening to ASHLOM's story, there are a few things I get out of it. And like the Bible says, bad company corrupts good character. When she went to school and unfortunately found herself with some friends who managed to influence her, not in a good manner, but in a bad manner, that was where it all started. So when she left school, came home, she felt what daddy had been doing for her whilst growing up, trying to keep her on track. She felt the old man was restricting her too much. She decided to go her own way. In fact, looking at the story, it looks like kind of the prodigal son, and in this case, we'll say the prodigal daughter. ASHLOM allowed the love of money to drive and push her deep into what she found herself in. She saw glamour, she saw riches, and the only way she felt she could access them was to enter into what she calls the superior form of whatever. But you see, in the end, she came to square one. She could have died in the process. She could have contracted STDs. She could have even been killed. Looking at what she went through, even her pimp, at a point, look at what he tried to do to her, to destroy her to the man she had found. Thank God she came out, and none of these things followed her. But there are emotional scars with her, and I believe there are physical scars also with her. Some of these things, they remain with you. They don't just go away. And it depends on everyone, the way they handle emotional trauma. You'll find out in her story that when she came, she was depressed. There are those who, when they get depressed, they commit suicide. Thank God she didn't commit suicide, and she's here to tell her story, to advise people to desist from entering into such business, let me call it business, because you would not survive. The fact that she survived doesn't mean another person will survive. I believe that God allowed her to survive so she can tell her story, so others will learn from it. There was a guy who led another guy into Indian hemp smoking. The one who led the other guy into Indian hemp smoking became crazy in a few months and passed on. This one who got involved didn't die, but he lost a lot of things. He lost his memory and many other things. So our advice is that don't look at this story and think that, oh, today maybe she's making it, she didn't die, so I can go in and I will not die. You may die. You may not survive. And here I want to recommend the dad. The way he received her when she came back. I believe when she had gone away, the dad was praying for her. For some of us that will condemn her, will not even want her to come close to us. But the love that the dad showed her when she returned, I believe that is what we should all be doing. The Bible says, nothing shall separate us from the love of God. And as imitators of God, or Christ, who is God, I believe that dad did the right thing.
Aisha Moment will be next.
It's Aisha on the A Show.
There's Aisha Moments. The moments where I share with you what I have also taken out of my interview with my guests. We came here, ASHLOM and myself. We talked. We had a conversation. You heard her story. Intrigued by her story. Probably teared up. I almost did. But at the end of the day, we learned that whatever that doesn't kill you makes you stronger. She shared her journey with us. She wasn't shy about it because the Almighty God has saved her from where she used to be to a place where there's light, a place where there's beauty, a place where there's fulfillment. If you watched her, you listened to her, and you are saying that you also need to make your own mistakes. My dear, you don't need to make your own mistakes. That is why she shared with you. It is always good to learn the right things. And so I stand here every time I come your way and I say to you, doing what is right today means no regrets tomorrow. Don't do the evil things and be regretful tomorrow. If they share, it is because we're telling you that don't go on that journey. It is not worth your while. I trust that you have been inspired, informed, and really being educated on this episode. Until I come your way next week, trust that we're going to have a part 2 of this story. And we'll see you next week. Bye. Be right back. Asari, how come I haven't gone for a break? And then you're very